Hey, YouTubers, welcome back to the bench. Fred B. Radio here. Hey, look, last weekend was the New Jersey Antique Radio Club swap meet. Had a great time. Had one of my friends, also a YouTube creator, Scout Crafter. He came out from Long Island, and I'm going to loop in his video. I'll put it in the link down below so that you can see his video. And had a great time. I went there with, I didn't record my own video because I was very busy at my table. I went there with 19 items and came back with 4. So I did okay, had a good time, met a lot of nice people. And so take a look at Scout Crafter's video. He actually put it out this past Wednesday. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about antique radios versus retro radios, reproductions. I want to start going over because I had some questions from people that obviously they didn't know the difference between the two. So I'm going to just go over that, and then I'm going to get into this one that's over here and see why it doesn't play. It plays, but it's not well. So let's get into that. I'll swing you guys around, and we'll start talking radios. Okay. So if you've been watching my channel, you'll recognize this one because I did a restoration on the electronics on the inside of it. Still needs a case restoration. But the radio on the left brings to mind questions. You know, I see a lot of times on YouTube. I also see it on Facebook Marketplace where radios like this one are being marketed as antique radios. Okay. Yes, they're older. That radio has a tag on the back that was built in 1989. Yes, that's old. That doesn't make it an antique. Back in the 30s, when radios like this were made, these cathedrals, this one was called a tombstone, obviously by the shape. They either had AM, broadcast band, or shortwave. Now, the easiest way to tell if you're looking at a replica radio or not, for those that don't know, hey, look, I'm not knocking replica radios. They look cool. They sound okay. You just need something for some music. They're great. We even have one upstairs. It's a record player. It's a fake Crosley. It's a record player, AM, FM, cassette player, CD player. It fills a bill. Okay, so I'm not totally knocking them. I'm just want people to understand that when you're looking at these online, it may not be a true antique. The old antique radios were tube radios. Swing this puppy around. Okay. Again, that's what they looked like in the back. Normally, there was no back on these. May have been, but look, I wasn't born in the 30s, so I don't know if these were ever totally enclosed, but I seriously doubt it. Okay. So if it's open on the back and you can see the tubes, yes, it's a vintage antique radio. Okay. When we get over to these, there's ways of telling. One, well, let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit so you get in a little bit closer. First of all, they didn't have tags like this on it that said collector's edition. Okay. That's the first giveaway. The second giveaway is the screws are Phillips head screws. They didn't use Phillips head screws back then. It was all slotted screws. If the tag isn't here, and for whatever reason they used slotted screws, if you go down and look, let me see if I can get you in there a little bit closer. See, it says AM and FM. They didn't use FM radio transmissions back then. So that's a key way of telling whether or not it's a true antique or not, okay? The other way is if we turn this, let me back out of here again. If we turn this sideways, it's got a cassette player on the side. They didn't have cassette players way back when, okay? You can find these with CD players as well. So that's just, I want people to be aware. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with replica radios. They're cool looking. If you want something cool looking that actually works, so you don't have to play around with it, like one of the, like something like this, then get yourself a replica. I'm okay with that, no problem. If you notice, has a back on it, made in China, June 1989. So, UL listed. Again, this is a replica. I want people to be aware of the difference between the two. Sounds crazy to those that know, but there are younger people out there that may not know the difference between the two. So let me pause this, get some stuff off the bench here, swing everything around, and let's take a look at this one and see what it's doing. Okay, I've got this in the AM position. We have static.
Segundo, tercer lugar, jugando muy bien al fútbol.
Well, first off, there's a problem with the volume control. But it seems to be playing, so it does tune, but again,
a rejection of the administration's plea to the federal.
He's been trying to trade it. He's trying to go to sports.
I can't turn the volume down.
Looking for media content from Joe.
Okay.
Okay. We're in North Nevada, North Las Vegas.
So AM works.
Rock Q104.3.
Okay. So it looks like the radio is actually working other than the volume control. So let's get the back off of this, see what's inside, and see what we can do to get this volume control corrected. Okay, so I took 11 of the 12 screws out off camera because you don't need me to watch me unscrew a screw. So we'll be seeing this. I've never opened this before, so let's get it open. It's amazing. I've never seen one of these with all these screws in it. All right. Now let's get you around here. Okay, so you got your cassette player here. I don't know if that works. I don't have any cassettes I want to damage. I'll see if I can get it cleaned before I do anything. But in order to get to that volume control, I'm actually going to have to take everything out of here. I'm trying to figure out if I can see a name anyplace. Virtue is the name on the speaker. Like I said, I don't know really who built this. But it appears, let me shut this. I shut it off before I get snagged for playing on the air. Okay. Bear with me. I'm going to work to get this out. I guess I'm going to have to take this out first. I'm going to have to take this out of here first so that I can then get to the board. Yeah. Interesting. All right. A little challenging, but I'll get it out. This has got to come off. Well, maybe I could. Yeah, I might be able to leave this in place, just to unplug it. Get in there with some long screwdrivers. There's a couple screws way down inside. Yeah, where's my pointer? It appears that there's some, let's see if I can get you on camera here. Some screws, one over here and one over here. And then I think there was one up here. I don't know if there's one up here or not, but let me see if I can get this out without pulling everything. Speaker is connected to this as well. It's not, the speaker is soldered in. Okay, now let me work on this and then we'll come right back. Okay, let me turn this volume down here a little bit. So, I sprayed a little, where's my pointer here? Took all of this out. Yeah, it was more than I wanted to do. It's probably more than what this radio is worth, but down in here is the volume control. I sprayed some deoxit down in there. And sprayed it in there, worked the volume control back and forth, turned it on, and nothing happened. What did I break when I took it apart? Well, when I took it apart, I actually had to take this out to get to the screws. This has to be plugged in. Obviously, you can't see it. I'm saying obviously. There's a switch here. And with this not plugged in over here, doesn't work. So, let's see what we've got.
This guy is proposing.
Okay, that's
Listen to
AM.
this for yourself. A quote. So, you know what I mean? I left out in that introduction all the hats from Rawhide. All right? Yeah. I forgot
Okay.
Rawhide, which is one of my.
It's playing.
And the other one that I like so much.
I'll check some caps while I have it out.
You got a hat like Haas Cartwright.
These things are all glued in.
Yeah, I got one like Little Joe.
Maybe I won't do any
Little Joe.
caps.
I watched all of them, and my good friend who died, and there's going to be a screening of a documentary.
But this
on
is a
Charles Grodin, who was in.
This is a one-chip wonder.
I think Wagon Train. Wagon Train.
Get this light in here.
Let's go to this mysterious phone
This is
call.
your AM/FM radio
Certainly
chip,
unprofessional, and
so you don't have
and I read
discrete
the article,
components.
kind of said that this was a deep state kind of artifice.
So really, there's not a lot to do on this. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I did get it working. There's a light, dial light that's out. We'll see. But that's it. I'll get it back together. I'm sitting here talking. I don't even have this on.
So one could argue that
Okay.
that benefits like kind of the empire that the U.S. is doing.
So I'll
terrible
get this
things.
all
We
back
got
together.
wars going all over the place, genocide,
And
bombing, poor people
hopefully,
as usual, and we're talking about the app. So that's beneficial too.
don't need to listen to that. Get aggravated listening to the news. I will get this back together. I'll see if I can get another dial light to put in there. Not sure. We'll see. Get it all back together, see how it plays. I can tell you right now the cassette player is not going to play. The belt that's in here is extremely loose. So I don't think we're going to get any cassette playing out of it. Yeah, if I can get this over here. Haven't played with a cassette player deck in years. I know there's a lever that when you push it in. All right, you know what? Let me pause you guys for a minute here. All right, let's see. Here's a crappy tape anyway. Let's see how this goes in. You know what? Nothing's turning. Nothing is turning. So, it should change over automatically. I don't know if it's got to be in one particular mode or another. But the motor's not even spinning on it. So, I'm thinking that the cassette player is pretty much dead, but I'll play around with that. I want to start getting this thing back together. Eject. Let's put it in this way. Oh, there it goes. So, cassette deck is working. I'll clean the head on that, get this thing back together, and fire it back up. Yeah, that's the power button. All right, stand by and we'll get back to you. Okay, this is the before look, before I use any Old English scratch remover. Remember, this is like polishing a turd at this point, but I want to make it look halfway decent. So this is what it looks like before, and I'll show you once I've gone over the entire case with the Old English scratch remover. I've done this side. Looks pretty good. We'll see this side. Now let's get some light over. I can't get some light over there. Yeah, it looks pretty crappy, but we'll get some stuff on there, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay, here you go. I used, just went over that a little bit. Look how nice that looks. So you can make them look nice, keep them clean if you get them in better shape. Yeah, this is all dark. All the stain was off of it. But look at this. This looks good. And I didn't spend much time at all on that. Volume's working. AM. FM's working. And a cassette For those that don't know what cassettes are. There we go. And thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's not an antique, but it's a damn nice looking radio and it works. So if you're looking for something like that, just know what you're buying. If you're buying a replica and you know it, okay. If you don't know you're buying a replica, you think you're buying an antique, you may be disappointed. All righty. Thanks for joining in. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you. And I'm going to link in, well, I'm actually going to put a link to Scout Crafter's video from the New Jersey Antique Radio Club's 2025 spring swap meet. You'll see me there. You'll see John, Scout Crafter, there as well. Take care. See you on the next round.